level of racing that he's achieved is extremely rare.
Matoli's a monster! Matoli wins the sprint! Oh, what a horse he is! The mighty Matoli!
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Spa Babies, presented by Spendthrift. I'm Dan Illman, and our Spa Baby race for Friday, August the 19th, stakes action at the Spa. We're going 5.5 on the turf for the Skidmore Stakes, carded as race number 10. Let's take a look at this quality field. Chad Brown has 2 strong entrants in here. The great trainer has the 3 Oxymore, a recent private purchase, and the 8 Appraise, who won his career debut sprinting at Saratoga. Spendthrift represented by the 5 Private Creed by their stallion Jimmy Creed, and the 9 Bourbon Therapy by Free Drop Billy. It should be a fun, competitive race. 2-year-olds that have shown some promise. We'll start things off with the 1, Jeremy's Jet, going out for Jose Lescano. Paul McEntee is the trainer. This is a colt with a lot of experience. He's run 6 times already, and he was a blowout winner at Saratoga in a maiden auction race over a muddy dirt track 2-back. They tried him on turf last time out in the Tyro, and while the running line doesn't look great, the horse that won that race is very promising. He's now 2 for 2 on the turf. He's arguably the best turf 2-year-old in the country, and he just ran away and hid with the from the Tyro foes. So maybe Jeremy's Jet was just a little bit overmatched in that race. His dam is a full sister to Daddy Longlegs, who was a multiple Group 2 winner. That horse won a group race on turf, and also I believe won the UAE Derby. Jeremy's Jet's experience should work well for him in this race. He also has a little bit of tactical speed breaking from the rail. He's by Street Sense. The number 2 is Fadethenoise. Let's watch Fadethenoise's career debut on turf. Second start in his career. He didn't run very well in his debut at Churchill after a bad beginning, but he certainly improved second time out. Much more speed, got up close to a moderate pace, drew out to win as much the best. And it just seems that all the progeny of this first crop sire Mendelssohn are running right now. He has 7 winners, I believe, from 32 starters. Flavian Pratt's going to take them out from Michael Maker, who's quietly having an excellent meet up at Saratoga. The dam's a half-sister to Nickname, who won the Frazette, a grade 1 stakes race for 2-year-olds. Also a half-sister to Hey Mike, who was a multiple stakes placed 2-year-old on dirt. This was just won very easily. Now he's going to take a step up in class and might face a tougher pace scenario, but certainly deserves the opportunity. The 3 is Oxymore, and let's watch this one's career debut. Trained this day by Adam Rice. This horse beat the gate and just went right to the front, set nice fractions, and just cruised on home and was much the best. What concerns me about this race are 2 things. 1, there's just not a lot of closing going on. These horses ran 1-2 all the way around the track. 2, 5 of these horses that Oxymore beat came right back to run. None of them hit the board in their next start, and the best buyer speed figure of the 5 was only a 43. So I have a feeling Oxymore didn't beat much in this race, but the way he won was very impressive indeed, and he looks fast. Privately purchased after that debut, now in Chad Brown's barn. The dam a full sister to Imperial Council, who is grade 2 stakes placed both on dirt and synthetic. And I would just think if this horse breaks, he's going to be on the lead. I was able to see one of his turf workouts recently on tape. Kept really good company. One of the fillies for Chad, older filly that just ran 3rd, I believe, in the Belmont Oaks, kept company with that one. And matched strides very nicely. This horse has some promise, but this is a step up in class. Nay Hudson is the 4. This one makes the turf debut for trainer Wesley Ward. He is a half-brother to Taylor's Row, a stakes-placed dirt router in the United Arab Emirates. A $190,000 yearling by No Nay Never, a fleet sire. Gets 20% winners from 2-year-olds. Very good with turf, 14% first turf runners. And maybe this horse is just going to take a big step on the turf. The dam was a grade 2 stakes winner going longer on the turf. Nay Hudson looked good in the debut at Keeneland, just went right to the front like many Wesley Ward trained horses do and dominated. And then last time out in the Tremont, didn't break very well, kind of rushed into the race and tired. Maybe a race that's a little bit better than it looks. Nay Hudson, I'm not worried about him switching surfaces. He's certainly bred for it. The 5 is Private Creed. This is a second-time starter for Steve Asmussen. Here's the debut run for Private Creed. And I like the way this horse professionally sat off of the leaders, eased to the outside, and did his job in the stretch. He changes leads, and he is off to the races. He wins very, very comfortably. This race, 5.5 furlongs. I think he gained a lot of experience experience from this start. He digs in now when these horses come to him on the outside. Private Creed is by Spendthrift stallion Jimmy Creed. This horse sold for $155,000 in May. The dam was a stakes winner going a little bit longer, and she's a half to lunar miss to stakes winning Turf Miler. I thought that was a really solid debut down at Ellis Park, a track that has an underrated program for 2-year-old runners, especially on turf. Private Creed is a very logical contender. The 6 is Noble Huntsman, and this one made a successful debut at Saratoga for trainer Mitch Friedman against New York breds. And this horse also sat just off the early lead, got to the outside, and finishes it off to win. I think this horse is going to be taking a pretty solid step up in class. We see Noble Huntsman right now sort of flailing away on his left lead. Now he changes over and he finishes things off. It was a good effort for Mitch Friedman, another trainer that's having a really good meetup at Saratoga this year. Javier Castellano retains the mount. I think he's going to have to improve a little bit. This one is by Noble Mission, really solid turf runner in his day. The dam have to carry me away, a stakes-winning dirt router. Noble Huntsman, though, up in class. Prove Right's going to try turf for the first time. This one is by Justify, hot first crop sire. Of course, he won the Triple Crown. Justify already is 1 for 3 with first-time turf runners. The dam was a 2-year-old winner on turf going a mile. She is a half to Golden Sense, who won the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile and does very well with turf horses. And trainer James Chapman does very well with 2-year-old. Trevor McCarthy takes the mount on Prove Right, who last ran on the Sanford at Saratoga on dirt and was 57-1 that day. Don't think he really ran that badly, but he is going to have to step up on the turf. Appraise is the number 8, and it was kind of surprising that this horse went off at 11-1 for the career debut, considering it's one of those Claravish European purchase 2-year-olds for trainer Chad Brown. And we see Appraise now striking the front at that price and is going to dig in gamely to win. He was able to stay up close to a pretty fast pace in this race, and he's able to dig down deep to win. It looked like he was beaten in mid-stretch right here by Inflation Market, who came to him on the outside. But as you can see, down on the rail, Appraise said, "Oh, no, you don't." And he held on to win by a head. A $256,000 yearling purchase overseas, the dam a stakes winner on turf, and this horse is just all turf. And drawing the outside here with the tactical speed he showed in his debut and the ability to stay close to the pace, he's just a logical contender. Number 9 is Bourbon Therapy, and let's watch this horse's most recent win at Horseshoe Indianapolis. This is start number 3, and he went right to the front in this maiden special weight. I don't love the way he was drifting out in the stretch of this race. He was able to show good early speed, but not only do I not like him drifting out, and he's going to have to show more professionalism against this tougher field, but he ran with Lasix this day, and he won't be able to run with Lasix in New York on Friday. He was sent through the auction ring after this start, where he was purchased by a quality connections, 3 Diamonds Farm, Michael Maker. They got him for $40,000. There is a lot of speed in this pedigree. I won't be surprised if Bourbon Therapy shows speed in this spot under an aggressive rider in Luis Saez, but I have a feeling the pace scenario is going to be a lot tougher than it was last time out. The 10 Cadillac Candy is a son of Twirling Candy and a $15,000 yearling. But as you can see, Twirling Candy has very good numbers with first turf, with all turf runners and juvenile debut runners. And Rusty Arnold just excels with turf sprinters, doesn't he? Cadillac Candy came from off the pace in his debut and did so again in his most recent start, winning at Churchill Downs, going 5/8 of a mile. And the third place finisher from the most recent race came back to run second in a maiden special on dirt with a 66 buyer. And that horse is now stakes placed on dirt down at Ellis Park. I like the progression this horse has shown from his 2 starts. He obviously runs well on turf. I won't be surprised at all if he comes with a strong late bid. Top pick time for Friday's Skidmore Stakes. I went with both Chad Brown trained horses. Oxymore, the 3, might have a little bit more early speed. I expect him to just be running and gunning with an alert break. This is a much tougher spot than the horses he faced in his career debut, but he certainly has quality. He caught the eye of the connections to buy him privately after his debut. And Appraise, really a lot of like in his career debut up at Saratoga, able to stay close to a fast pace, and you saw how game he was in the stretch to dig down deep and win. 3, 8, 5, 7 for me in the Skidmore Stakes, your Spa Baby race for Friday. Good luck.